The chamber was massive beyond imagination. Crystal walls stretched up into darkness, and lights from 1,000 worlds flickered like stars. This was the Galactic Council, and today it was full. Every seat was taken. Every species had sent their representative. Something important was about to happen. Ambassador Lee Tiemann sat in the human section. His dark suit looked plain compared to the colorful robes and strange bodies around him. Beside him, Park Daeong checked her tablet. Her face was calm, but her eyes were sharp. She had been a soldier before becoming a diplomat. Old habits stayed with her. "They're starting," Daeong whispered. The center platform lit up. A being of pure light floated there. This was Counselor Vextheren, the Arbiter. When he spoke, his voice came from everywhere at once. The Council recognizes War Prime Kreltok of the Dravix Empire. Something huge stepped into the light. Kreltok stood 3 meters tall. His body was covered in black armor plates, 4 arms ending in claws, eyes like dark stones. The Dravix were warriors. Everyone knew this. They had conquered 200 worlds. "Honored Council," Kreltok's voice was like grinding metal. "The Dravix Empire claims the world called Earth. We will take it in 10 days. This is our right under Galactic Law, Article 47. The world has resources we need. Its location is strategic. The primitive species living there will be relocated. We follow all proper procedures." Silence filled the chamber. Then murmuring started. Species talked among themselves. Nobody seemed worried. Earth was new to the galaxy. Humans had only joined 15 years ago. They were young, weak. This was normal. Ian stood up. "The human delegation requests to speak." Vextheren's light pulsed. "Ambassador Tiemann, you may speak." Tiemann walked to the speaking platform. Every eye in the chamber watched him. He looked small, fragile, human. "We request 30 days before any military action. To prepare. To evacuate civilians if needed. 30 days. That's all we ask." Kreltok made a sound like laughter. 30 days to run away? Humans are even weaker than reports suggested. Other species joined the laughter. Not mean laughter. Pitying laughter. Poor humans. They didn't understand how the galaxy worked. Vextheren dimmed his light for silence. "The Council must vote. All in favor of granting humanity 30 days? Lights appeared above seats. Green for yes. Red for no. The chamber filled with red. Only 12 green lights showed. 12 species out of 847. "The request is denied," Vextheren announced. "War Prime Kreltok, you may proceed as planned. 10 days. The Council will monitor the situation and provide humanitarian aid after the annexation." Kreltok bowed, his armor plate scraping. "The Dravix are merciful. We will make human deaths quick. Most will survive to serve the Empire." Tiemann's face stayed calm. Too calm. Daeong recognized that look. She had seen it before. On soldiers before battle. When they knew something others didn't. "Thank you, Counselor," Tiemann said quietly. "Then humanity will prepare in the time given." He turned to leave. The Council was already moving to other business. Earth was a small matter. A footnote. These things happened in the galaxy. But then something strange occurred. As Tiemann walked back to his seat, 3 beings approached him. Old beings. Ancient beings. Species that had been in the Council for thousands of years. They moved slowly, carefully. They didn't want others to see. The first was Clara, a being that looked like living crystal. She had been studying human culture for years. Her voice was soft, like wind through stones. "Ambassador Tiemann, I have read your histories. Your wars, your weapons. I must ask... Is it true what I found? About your world wars? About your nuclear weapons?" Tiemann nodded once. "Yes, all true." The second being was Praxium, covered in sensors and lenses. An observer species. "We have technology data on human ships. They seem heavily armed. More than needed for exploration. Why?" We believe in being prepared, Teeman said simply. The third was oldest. No one knew its species' name anymore. It spoke in a voice like dying stars. Young ambassador, I have seen many species die. The Draviks are powerful. They have never lost a war. Your people should evacuate. Save who you can. Earth is just a planet. Your species can survive elsewhere. Teeman looked at the ancient being. For a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Something cold. Something dangerous. Then it was gone. He smiled. A human smile. Teeth showing. Evacuate? Teeman said. Thank you for the concern, Elder, but no. We're not evacuating Earth. Tlara-S crystal body made a chiming sound. Surprise. Then what will you do? We're calling up our reserves. The three beings stared. Praxium-S sensors focused tighter. Reserves? You have a reserve military? Every nation on Earth does, Daong said, joining them. Our civilians train. Students train. Workers train. When we need them, they answer. But why? Clara asked. Why would civilians train for war? Teeman's smile faded. Because on Earth we learned something a long time ago. Peace is temporary. War is always possible. So we prepare always. The ancient being made a sad sound. Then your species will die bravely. I am sorry. The Draviks will remember you fought. That is something. Maybe, Teeman said. Or maybe they'll remember something else. He walked away. Daong followed. Behind them, the three beings watched in silence. Back at his seat, Teeman activated his communicator. It was coded, encrypted, direct to Earth. This is Teeman. Status? A voice crackled back. Admiral Choi Minseo, Commander of Earth's Home Fleet. We've been expecting this, Ambassador. All ships are moving to defensive positions. The moon bases are armed. The orbital platforms are online. Dr. Khan says the new weapons are ready. We need 72 hours to complete preparation. You have 10 days, Teeman said. More than enough, sir. Troy's voice carried no fear. Just cold calculation. What did the council say when you told them about our military capabilities? I didn't tell them everything. Good, let it be a surprise. Troy paused. Ambassador, the crews are asking. What should we tell them? Teeman thought for a moment. Around him, the council continued its business. Species discussed trade routes, mining rights, border disputes, normal things, peaceful things. They had forgotten about Earth already. Just another primitive world about to be conquered. Happened all the time. Tell them this, Teeman said quietly. The Draviks think we're prey. They think Earth is weak. They think humans will run or surrender. They're wrong. We don't run from our home. We don't surrender when threatened. Tell the crews to remember why we built those ships. Why we put weapons on every station. Why we trained for this. And what's that, sir? Because we knew this day would come. Someone would see Earth and think it was easy. Think we were soft. Think we were weak. We knew someone would come to take our home. Teeman's voice went cold. Tell them to be ready. Tell them to be sharp. And tell them that when the Draviks arrive, we show them what humans really are. Yes, sir. Earth out. The communication ended. Daong looked at Teeman. They have 500 warships, I know. We have 96 in the home fleet. I know that too. The odds are irrelevant, Teeman finished. Daong, how long have we known each other? 15 years. Since first contact. And in those 15 years, what have we learned about the galaxy? Daong smiled. A warrior's smile. That they've forgotten what war really means? Exactly. Teeman looked out at the council chamber. All those peaceful species. All that order, all that civilization, they've had peace for so long they think war is just a transaction. Ships meet. The weaker surrenders. Everyone goes home, clean, simple, civilized. But war isn't civilized. No, it's not. Teeman stood. Come, we have work to do. 10 days isn't much time. They left the chamber together. Behind them, the council continued talking. Above them, stars shined in the darkness. And somewhere in that darkness, 500 Dravix warships were preparing to attack Earth. They were coming to take humanity's home. They had no idea what was waiting for them. The Dravix fleet gathered in the void. 500 warships. Each one was massive. Each one was deadly. They floated in perfect formation like predators waiting to strike. War Prime Kreltok stood on the bridge of his flagship. Around him, officers worked at their stations. Everything was ready? Status report, Kreltok commanded. His second-in-command, a younger Dravix named Veltik, checked displays. All ships report ready. Weapons charged. Shields at full. The fleet awaits your order, War Prime. And the humans? No response to our ultimatum. Their primitive communication stations are active. They know we're coming. Intelligence suggests they are evacuating their cities. Veltik clicked his mandibles, amusement. They run as expected. Kreltok wasn't so sure. Something bothered him. The human ambassador's face. That smile. Warriors recognized other warriors. And Timon had looked like a warrior. But that was impossible. Humans were new to space, weak, peaceful. Maintain formation. We proceed as planned. Light years away, Earth was not evacuating. Admiral Choi Min-sao stood in Seoul Command Center. The room was buried deep underground. Screens covered every wall. Each screen showed something different. Ship positions. Weapon status. Defense grids. Satellite feeds. Everything. Admiral, orbital platforms are fully armed, an officer reported. Nuclear mines are in position. All 3 defensive layers are active. Troy nodded. She was 50 years old. Gray touched her black hair. Scars marked her hands. She had fought in the resource wars, back when humans fought humans. Before they knew aliens existed. Those wars taught hard lessons. Lessons, she remembered. What about the fleet? 96 ships in defensive formation. Hidden behind the moon, just as you ordered. The officer paused. Admiral, the crew are asking questions. Why hide? Why not show our full strength? Troy smiled. It was not a kind smile. Because predators hunt what they can see. Let them think we're weak. Let them come close. Then we show them what we really have. In another part of Seoul, Dr. Kang Ji-woo worked in her laboratory. She was young for a chief scientist. Only 35. But genius came early for some. Around her, technicians moved carefully. They handled dangerous things. Doctor, the kinetic accelerators are ready, a technician said. The nuclear warheads are armed. The energy weapons are charged. All systems are operational. And the surprise? Kang asked. The technician grinned. The surprise is ready. They're going to hate it. Good. Kang looked at her screens. They showed the new weapons. Weapons the galaxy didn't know humans had. When the Dravix see these, they'll understand. Technology isn't everything. Creativity matters. Determination matters. And desperation? She laughed. Desperation makes humans very creative. On an orbital platform above Earth, Captain Yoon Hana checked her fighter. It was small, fast, heavily armed. Around her, 30 other pilots did the same. Her squadron. The best fighters Earth had. Captain, you really think they'll come? Asked Nam Sora, her wingwoman. They're coming, Hana said. They think Earth is easy. They think we'll surrender. Will we? Hana looked at Sora, really looked. Have you studied history? Human history? Some. Why? Then you know humans never surrender. Not when defending home. We fought for this planet for millions of years. Against animals. Against weather. Against each other. We've survived ice ages, plagues, wars that killed millions. And we're still here. Hana patted her fighter. These Dravix think they can take Earth? Let them try. In the council observation post, Praxium watched his screens. The council had sent him to monitor the annexation. It was supposed to be routine. The Draviks would arrive. Humans would surrender or be destroyed. Then the council would send aid. Clean up the mess. Another primitive species absorbed into the galaxy, but something felt wrong. His sensors showed Earth. The planet was beautiful. Blue oceans. Green land. White clouds. And surrounding it? Weapons, so many weapons. Orbital platforms. Satellite networks. Minefields. Hidden ships. This is wrong, Praxium muttered. Why do they have so many weapons? They're supposed to be peaceful. He accessed human data files, public information, history files. What he found made his sensors dim in shock. World. War I, 20 million dead. World War II, 70 million dead. Nuclear. Weapons tested, used, hundreds of them built. Cold War, decades of preparation for total destruction. Resource. Wars, regional conflicts. Constant fighting. They never stopped, Praxium whispered. They never stopped fighting. Not for their entire history. He composed a message to the council, urgent, important, but then he stopped. Would they listen? Would they believe? Humans seemed so peaceful in council meetings. So reasonable. So civilized. He decided to wait. To watch, to record everything. Maybe he was wrong. Maybe humans would surrender after all. But he didn't think so. Back in Soul Command, Daeong entered the room. Timon was right behind her. Troy turned to greet them. Ambassador. Welcome back. Admiral. Status? We're ready. 10 days was more than enough. The Draviks will arrive in 3 hours. 3 hours, Timon repeated. He walked to the central screen. It showed the solar system. The Draviks' fleet was marked in red. A massive blob of red coming closer. Earth was blue, alone, small. Sir, Troy said carefully, some council members have been sending messages. Offering evacuation? Offering to save who we can. They think we should run. What did you tell them? Nothing. I thought you should respond. Timon thought for a moment. Then he started typing. A message to Clara. The crystal being who had warned him. Elder Clara, thank you for your concern. But humanity does not evacuate. We do not run. Our ancestors faced predators with nothing but stones and fire. They faced ice ages with nothing but fur and will. They faced each other with weapons that could destroy the world. And they survived. All of them. Because they stood and fought. Because they refused to give up. We will do the same. Watch, Elder. Watch and learn what humans really are. Timon. He sent the message. Then he turned to the room. Everyone was watching him, waiting. I know you're scared, Timon said. I know the odds look bad. 500 ships against 96. Advanced technology against what we've built in just 15 years. But here's what the Draviks don't know. Here's what the whole galaxy doesn't know. He paused. Let the silence build. Humans are the scariest species in the galaxy. Not because we're strong. Not because we're smart. But because we don't quit, ever. You can beat us down. You can take everything from us. You can kill millions of us. And we'll still get up. We'll still fight back. We'll still find a way to hurt you. Around the room, officers sat straighter. Fear turned to determination. The Draviks are coming to take our home, Timon continued. Our world. The place where humanity was born. Where our children live. Where our parents are buried. They think we'll surrender. They think we're weak. They think this will be easy. His voice went cold, hard like iron. Let's show them how wrong they are. The room erupted in sound. Not cheers. Something deeper. A growl, a promise. The sound of humans preparing for war. Troy pulled up fleet displays. All ships report ready, Ambassador. The moon bases are armed. The orbital platforms are online. The mines are waiting. Dr. Kong's surprises are ready. We have everything we can use. And the people? The civilians? In shelters, underground, protected as much as possible. Troy's face hardened. But they know what's happening. Many wanted to fight. We had to turn away volunteers. Too many people wanted to help defend Earth. Tiemann nodded slowly. That was humanity. Even civilians wanted to fight for home. Lieutenant Jin Hosing appeared on screen. He commanded one of Earth's new ships. A stealth frigate, small, fast, invisible to most sensors. Ambassador Captain Jin reporting. My ship is in position. Hidden in the asteroid belt. The Draviks won't see us until it's too late. Good, remember the plan, Jin? Wait until they're committed. Wait until they think they're winning. Then hit them where it hurts. Yes, sir. Jin out, screens changed. The Draviks fleet was getting closer. 1 hour now. Maybe less. Admiral, an officer called out. We're receiving a transmission. From the Draviks. War Prime Kreltok. Put it on screen, Troy ordered. Kreltok appeared, huge, armored, dangerous. Humans of Earth, this is your final chance. Surrender now. Accept Dravik's rule. We will be merciful. Resist and die. You have 5 minutes to respond. Tiemann stepped forward. This is Ambassador Lee Tiemann, representing humanity. War Prime Kreltok, we received your message. Here is our response. He leaned closer to the camera. His face was calm. His voice was quiet. But every word was sharp. Like a blade, come and take it. He cut the transmission dot in the council observation post. Praxium recorded everything. His sensors were going crazy. Energy readings, movement, preparation, war was coming. Real war, not the civilized conflicts the galaxy was used to. Something older, something primal. They're really going to fight, he whispered. They're really going to fight 500 ships with 96. His message to the council was ready. He sent it, marked urgent, marked critical. Council members, I advise immediate attention. Humanity is not surrendering. Repeat, humanity is not surrendering. This will not be a simple annexation. Request additional observers. Request recording equipment. Request, he stopped. The Dravik's fleet had arrived. They were entering Earth's solar system. The battle was about to begin. The Dravik's fleet moved through space like a dark cloud. 500 ships in perfect formation. War Prime Kreltok watched his screens. Earth was ahead, small, blue, defenseless. Begin the advance, he commanded. Standard annexation formation. Shields up. Weapons ready. This will be over quickly. His officers obeyed. The fleet moved forward, confident, unstoppable. They had done this 200 times before. This was routine. Then the first mine exploded. It wasn't a normal mine. It was nuclear. The blast lit up space like a new sun. One Dravik ship simply vanished, gone, turned to plasma and debris. What was that? Kreltok roared. Another mine exploded. Then another. Then 10 more. Then 50. The space around Earth's orbit was full of nuclear fire. Dravik ships tried to avoid them. Some succeeded. Many didn't. Report, Kreltok demanded. Veltak's voice shook. Mines, thousands of them. 3 orbital layers. They're nuclear. 23 ships destroyed. 41 ships damaged. War Prime, they're using nuclear weapons in their own orbit. Kreltok stared. That was insane. Nuclear weapons this close to their own planet? The radiation alone would damage Earth for generations. What species did that? In sole command, Troy watched the screens. Each explosion was a small light. So many lights. Mine layer efficiency at 78%, an officer reported. Enemy casualties at 15%. They're slowing down. Good, Troy said calmly. Let them think. Let them worry. Humans who use nuclear weapons around their own planet? What else will we do? On the council observation post, Praxium-S sensors were overloading. Nuclear weapons. Multiple detonations. They're destroying their own orbital space. This is insanity. He sent another urgent message to the council. His sensors recorded everything. The Council needed to see this. Humanity was not what anyone thought. The Dravix fleet regrouped. They were more careful now. They had lost 75 ships to mines. 75 ships before even seeing the enemy. Kreltok's mandibles clicked in anger. Advance slowly. Scan for more mines. Destroy them at range. No more surprises. The fleet moved forward again. Slower, carefully. They found more mines and destroyed them. It took hours. Hours they didn't want to spend. But eventually they cleared a path to Earth. War Prime, Veltek said. Orbital space is clear. We can begin bombardment orders. Kreltok looked at Earth. Beautiful planet. It would make a good Dravix colony. After they remove the humans. Begin orbital bombardment. Target military installations. Break their will to fight. Dravix ships moved into bombardment position. Their weapons charged. Energy weapons that could burn continents. Kinetic weapons that could shatter mountains. They prepared to fire. All ships, fire on. The human fleet appeared. They came from behind the moon, 96 ships. They weren't hiding anymore. They weren't running. They were attacking, and they were attacking at full speed. Evasive action? Kreltok shouted. Too slow. The human ships crashed into Dravix formations like hammers. They didn't slow down. They didn't try fancy maneuvers. They just charged. Straight ahead. Full power. Like ancient warriors with spears, Admiral Choi stood on her flagship's bridge. All ships, engage at close range. Remember your training. Hit them hard. Hit them fast. Don't give them time to think. Human ships opened fire. Their weapons were strange. Primitive, even. Kinetic accelerators that fired metal slugs. Nuclear missiles. Energy weapons copied from alien technology. Not elegant. Not efficient, but devastating. A Dravix cruiser exploded. Then another. Then 3 more. They're not fighting properly. Veltek shouted. They're too close. They're going to ram us. All ships maintain formation, Kreltok ordered. But his fleet was in chaos. The humans weren't following any tactics the Dravix knew. They were brawling. Fighting like animals. Using their ships as weapons. Captain Yoon Hana led her fighter squadron into the battle. 30 small ships against 500 giants. The odds didn't matter. Her fighters moved like angry insects, fast, unpredictable, deadly. All wings target their engines. Make them blind. Make them slow, she commanded. Her fighters dove into the Dravix formations. Missiles streaked out. Lasers flashed. One fighter was destroyed. Then another. But they took Dravix ships with them. Small ships killing big ones through speed and determination. Namsora flew beside Hana. Captain, they're trying to lock on. Let them try. We're faster. Hana twisted her fighter through a gap between 2 Dravix ships. Her missiles fired. Both hit. Both ships lost engines. They drifted, helpless. In the council chamber, emergency sessions were being called. Counselors watched the battle feeds. They couldn't believe what they saw. They're attacking, Clara whispered. Her crystal body pulsed with shock. They're actually attacking. Look at their tactics, another counselor said. They're fighting at close range. They're ramming enemy ships. They're using suicide runs. What kind of species does this? Vextheran light flickered. A desperate species. Or a very dangerous one. The battle raged for 6 hours. Human ships took terrible damage. Their shields weren't as strong. Their armor wasn't as good. But they didn't stop. When shields failed, they kept fighting. When weapons were destroyed, they rammed. When ships were crippled, the crews kept firing until the reactors went cold. Lieutenant Jin Hosing watched from his hiding spot in the asteroid belt. His stealth frigate was invisible, patient, waiting for the right moment. And then he saw it. Kreltok's flagship, the command ship. Surrounded by escorts, protected, important. This is Jin, beginning attack run. For Earth. His ship moved silently, slowly, carefully. The Dravix never saw him coming. He got within point-blank range. Then he opened fire with everything. Missiles struck the flagship's engines. Kinetic slugs tore through its shield generators. Energy weapons burned through armor. The flagship didn't explode, but it went dark. Dead in space, helpless. Command ship is hit. A Dravix officer screamed. War Prime is cut off. We have no orders. The Dravix fleet faltered. Without central command, they were confused. Ships collided. Formations broke. Some tried to regroup. Some tried to help the flagship. Some just tried to survive. Choi saw the opportunity. All ships, press the attack. Don't let them recover. Hit them now. The human fleet surged forward. They were damaged. They were bleeding. But they smelled victory. Like ancient hunters who finally brought down bigger prey, 18 hours into the battle, the Dravix fleet was broken. 300 ships destroyed. 150 damaged. 50 trying to flee? The mighty Dravix Empire, which had never lost a battle, was losing. Kreltok sat in his dark bridge. Emergency power only. Life support barely working. Around him, officers tried to repair systems, but it was hopeless. The humans had won. Impossible, but true. War Prime, Veltek said quietly. We must retreat. We cannot win. We have lost. Those words hurt worse than any weapon. Lost. The Dravix had lost. To humans. To a primitive species that didn't even understand proper warfare. Signal the fleet, Kreltok said. His voice was tired, defeated. Retreat. All ships. Return to Dravix space. The order went out. The surviving Dravix ships turned and ran. They limped away from Earth, broken, beaten, humiliated. But Choi wasn't done. Admiral, an officer said carefully. They're retreating. We won. Should we let them go? Choi thought about the mines. The destroyed orbital platforms. The ships that would never come home. The crews who died defending Earth? She thought about Kreltok's ultimatum. His confidence. His certainty that humans would be easy prey. No, she said coldly. They came to our home. They came to take our planet. They killed our people. We don't let that go unpunished. She opened a fleet channel. All ships capable of movement, form pursuit formation. We're going after them. Admiral, we're down to 41 functional ships, the officer protested. We're damaged. We need repairs. We need to finish this, Troy interrupted. If we let them escape now, they'll be back, stronger, smarter, angrier, so we chase them down. We make sure they understand. Earth is not prey. Humans are not weak. And when you attack us? She smiled. That warrior smile. We don't forgive. We don't forget. And we don't stop until you're broken. The human fleet pursued the retreating Dravix across the solar system. Past Mars, past the asteroid belt, past Jupiter. Every few hours they caught another fleeing ship. Each battle was short, brutal. The Dravix were already beaten. Their spirits were crushed. They didn't want to fight anymore. In the council chamber, counselors watched in stunned silence. The battle feed showed everything. Human ships, damaged and limping, chasing the mighty Dravix fleet across space. It was unprecedented. It was shocking. It was impossible. They're pursuing, a counselor whispered. They won and they're still attacking? This isn't how civilized species fight, another said. You win. You accept surrender. You stop. You don't chase defeated enemies. Tuara's body chimed softly. Maybe that's why they won? They don't follow our rules. They follow their own rules. Old rules. Rules from when survival meant being the scariest predator. Praxium sent his final report of the day. His sensors were exhausted. His recording equipment was full. He had documented everything. A battle the galaxy would never forget. Council report. Day 1 of the Earth-Dravix conflict. Dravix Empire attacked with 500 warships. Current status, 300 destroyed, 150 damaged, 50 retreating. The Galactic Council chamber was full again. But this time it was different. The mood was not routine. Not calm, every counselor looked nervous, scared even. On the central screens, battle footage played over and over. Humans fighting Dravix. Humans winning, humans pursuing, Vextherin-S light was dim. Troubled. Order, we must have order. This emergency session is now open. The matter before us is humanity. Silence. Heavy silence. We have all seen the reports, Vextherin continued. The Dravix Empire attacked Earth with 500 warships. Standard annexation procedure, legal under galactic law. But the result was not standard. Praxium, give your report. The observer floated forward. His sensors were tired. He had watched the entire battle. Recorded everything. Now he had to explain what the galaxy couldn't understand. Counselors, I witnessed something unprecedented. The Dravix fleet was destroyed. Not defeated, destroyed, 300 ships gone. 150 damaged beyond repair. The remaining 50 are being hunted across space by human forces. Current projections suggest none will escape. Murmurs filled the chamber. Impossible. How could this happen? But that's not the concerning part, Praxium said. His voice was quiet. The concerning part is how humans fight. They don't follow standard warfare protocols. They use nuclear weapons without hesitation. They fight at close range. They ram enemy ships. They pursue defeated enemies. They don't accept surrender. They don't stop. A counselor stood. Raxiel, from a peaceful herbivore species. But why? Why fight this way? It's inefficient, it's dangerous, it's barbaric. Because it works, Praxium said simply, and because it's who they are. Another screen activated. Clara appeared. She had been working non-stop since the battle, researching, studying, learning everything about humanity she could. Counselors, I must present my findings on human history. It explains everything. Her crystal body pulsed nervously. Humans evolved as persistence hunters. They chased prey until the prey died of exhaustion. This shaped their thinking. Humans don't give up, ever. It's genetic, it's cultural. It's everything they are. She pulled up images. Human history. Wars, weapons, death. Humans have been fighting for their entire existence. Not occasional wars like us, constant fighting. Tribal wars, religious wars, resource wars, world wars. They created weapons that could destroy their entire planet, and they built thousands of them. They stood ready to end their own species rather than surrender to each other. The chamber was silent, horrified. But they seemed so peaceful, Raxiel protested. In council meetings, in negotiations. They smile. They joke, they cooperate. Because they choose to, Tara said. That's what makes them truly dangerous. They can be peaceful, they can be cooperative, but when threatened, when their home is attacked, she played footage of the battle. Human ships ramming Dravix vessels. They become this. This is what humans really are. Predators with manners. Ambassador Temin entered the chamber. He walked calmly to the speaking platform. Every eye watched him. Some with fear, some with respect, all with new understanding. Ambassador Temin, Vextherin said. The council has questions. I'm sure you do, Temin replied. A counselor stood. Vrekinol from a powerful trading empire. Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you explain what humanity was capable of? We thought you were peaceful. Temin smiled. That human smile, showing teeth. We are peaceful. We prefer peace, we work for peace, but we prepare for war, always, because we learned something a long time ago. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. And never, ever assume peace will last forever. You deceived us, another counselor accused. No, Deong said, entering the chamber. We just didn't advertise our capabilities, would you? If you were a new species in a galaxy full of old powers, would you show all your weapons? Or would you watch and wait and learn? She walked to stand beside Temin. We watched, we learned, we saw how the galaxy works. Strong species take from weak ones. Annexation, conquest, integration, all nice words for the same thing. taking what isn't yours. So we prepared, we built ships, we built weapons, we trained our people. And we waited, for what? Vextheran asked. For this, Tiemann said. For someone to test us. To see if humans were really weak. Well, now you know, we're not. Screens changed. New footage appeared. Not from the Earth battle. From across the galaxy. Intelligence reports, spy data, secrets, what is this? A counselor demanded. This is what your intelligence services have been finding, Tiemann said. Human merchant ships that are a little too well armed. Human exploration vessels that scan things merchants don't need to scan. Human civilians in conflict zones, gaining combat experience. Human diplomats who used to be soldiers. Human scientists working on weapons technology. He walked through the chamber. Every screen showed evidence. Humanity had been preparing for years. Quietly, carefully, building military power while pretending to be peaceful explorers. You've been militarizing, Vrekenel said, in violation of treaty protocols for new species. Which treaty? Daong asked. Show me the one that says new species can't defend themselves. Show me the law that says we have to be weak. You can't. Because it doesn't exist. We followed every rule. We just didn't advertise what we were doing, an older counselor stood. Kexler, from a species that had been in the council for 3,000 years. The issue is not legal compliance. The issue is trust. How can we trust humanity now? How can we believe you are peaceful? Tiemann stopped walking. He looked at Kexler, really looked. How can we trust you? You watched the Draviks declare war on us. You voted against giving us time to evacuate. You were ready to let us be conquered, and you ask us about trust? The chamber fell silent. Here's the truth, Tiemann continued. Humans don't trust easily. We've learned not to. Every species that smiles might have a knife behind their back. Every treaty might be temporary. Every peace might be just preparation for the next war. So yes, we prepare, we build weapons. We train soldiers, we stay ready. Because the galaxy is not safe? The galaxy is full of species like the Draviks. Strong species that take what they want. And we refuse to be victims. But what about galactic peace? Raxiel asked. What about cooperation? What about civilization? We want those things, Daong said. Truly, humans dream of peace. We write songs about it. We tell stories about it, we work toward it every day. But we also remember history. Peace doesn't last because everyone wants it. Peace lasts because everyone is too scared to break it. Or too respectful, or too wise. We hope for wisdom. But we prepare for fear. New alerts flashed on screens. Updates from the battle. The human fleet had caught more retreating Dravik ships. The chase was continuing. The Draviks were being destroyed. You're still attacking them? A counselor said. They're retreating. They're beaten. Why not stop? Why not show mercy? Tiemann's face hardened. They came to our home. They came to kill our people. They came to take our planet. And you ask about mercy? Where was mercy in Kreltakas' ultimatum? Where was mercy when he said human deaths would be quick? Where was mercy when 500 ships prepared to burn our cities? He pointed at the screens. At the fleeing Dravik ships, at the pursuing human vessels. We will show mercy, eventually, when they understand. When they truly understand what happens when you attack Earth, when they learn that humans are not prey. When every Dravik knows that attacking humanity was the worst mistake their empire ever made. Then we'll show mercy, but not before. A message arrived. Urgent, from Admiral Choi. Tiemann read it, smiled. The Dravik's empire has sent a communication. They're requesting council intervention. They want us to stop pursuing their ships. They're claiming we're being unreasonable. Aggressive, dangerous. He looked up. Are we going to stop? No, Daong said simply. The council could order it, Vextheran said carefully. The council could try, Tiemann replied. His voice was soft, dangerous. But here's something you should understand. We came to the stars hoping for peace. We joined the council hoping for cooperation. We wanted to be part of something bigger, something better. But we will never, never put galactic opinion ahead of our survival. If the council orders us to stop defending ourselves, we'll ignore the order If the Council tries to punish us, we'll leave. We'll build our own alliance with species that understand strength, species that respect power, species that know peace comes from being too dangerous to attack. The chamber erupted. Counselors shouting, arguments starting, chaos spreading. Vextheran dimmed all lights, forced silence. Ambassador Teeman. Are you threatening to leave the Council? I'm stating reality, Teeman said. Humanity will work with the Council. We want cooperation. We want peace. But we will not be weak. We will not be prey. And we will not follow orders that endanger our people. If the Council can accept that, we'll be loyal members. If not, he shrugged, then we'll find another path. Clara's body chimed, understanding. You're forcing us to choose. Accept humanity as a strong species, as a dangerous species, or lose you entirely. Yes, Teeman said, because the galaxy needs to understand. Humans are not like other species. We're not peaceful herbivores who avoid conflict. We're not hive minds that value the collective over individuals. We're not ancient races that have forgotten how to fight. We're humans. We're predators who learn to cooperate. We're warriors who choose peace. 3 months had passed since the battle. 3 months that changed the galaxy forever. In the Dravik's home system, War Prime Kreltok sat in what remained of his command center. Around him, his empire was dying. Not from weapons. From fear. Report, he said tiredly. Veltek approached. His armor was dull, unpolished. More colonies are declaring independence. They say the empire is weak, that we cannot protect them. 6 more today. That makes 47 total. 47 colonies lost. In 3 months. 200 years of conquest, falling apart. All because of one battle. One defeat. One species and the Grand Fleet? Kreltok asked. He knew the answer. He just needed to hear it. Assembled. 2,000 warships. Every ship we could gather. Every ally we could call. They wait for your order to attack Earth again. Kreltok made a sound. Not quite laughter. Not quite crying. Attack Earth, yes, that worked so well the first time. War Prime, we cannot let this stand. Humanity destroyed half our fleet. They humiliated us. The galaxy laughs at us. We must strike back. We must show strength. Strength, Kreltok repeated. What do you know about strength, Veltek? What does any Dravix know about it? We thought we were strong. We conquered 200 worlds. Easy worlds. Weak worlds. Worlds that surrendered when we showed our ships. But Earth? Earth didn't surrender. Earth fought. And now we know the difference between conquering the weak and fighting the strong. He stood slowly. His body hurt. Age and injuries combining. Do you know what I learned about humans? After the battle? I studied them. I read their histories. I tried to understand. And I found something terrifying. What, War Prime? They have a saying. Humans have many sayings, actually. About war. About fighting. About never giving up. But one stands out. They say war is where old men talk and young men die. They know war is terrible. They know it kills. They know it destroys. And they fight anyway. Not because they're stupid, because they understand something we don't. Some things are worth dying for. We have honor, Veltek protested. We fight for the Empire. No, we fight for conquest. For expansion. For glory. But humans? They fight for home. For family. For survival. And that makes them impossible to beat. Because we can retreat. We can surrender. We can accept defeat and live to fight another day. But humans? When you attack their home, they don't have anywhere to retreat to. So they can't. They fight until they win or die. And they're very, very good at making sure they win. A communication alert sounded. Kreltok already knew what it was. It came every day. Same time. Same message. The screen activated. Admiral Troy's face appeared. Behind her, Earth floated, beautiful, untouched, victorious. War Prime Kreltok. This is day 91. Your grand fleet continues to gather. This concerns us. So I'll be clear. If that fleet approaches Earth, if it crosses into our space, we will not defend. We will attack. We will not fight in our solar system. We will fight in yours. We will not protect our home from your ships. We will destroy your home with ours. She leaned forward. Her eyes were cold, hard. Your empire is falling apart. Your colonies are leaving. Your allies are abandoning you. And still you talk of war. So understand this. If you attack Earth again, we will not stop at defeating your fleet. We will not stop at blockading your worlds. We will not stop until the Dravix Empire no longer exists. Not destroyed, removed, gone, forgotten, is that clear? The transmission ended. Like always, Troy didn't wait for responses. She just stated facts and disconnected. She's bluffing, Veltek said. She must be. They cannot destroy the entire empire, can't they? Kreltok asked. They destroyed half our fleet with a quarter of their forces. We know they have more ships, more weapons, more of everything. They've been building while we've been gathering, and they're not bluffing. Humans don't bluff. That's another thing I learned. When humans make threats, they mean them. He sat down again. Decision made. Send a message to the Grand Fleet. Stand down, disperse, return to defensive positions. We are not attacking Earth. War Prime, no. We cannot silence. Kreltok's voice was thunder. I am still War Prime. I am still Commander. And I am ordering a withdrawal. We are not attacking Earth, not now. Not ever. The war is over. We lost. In the Galactic Council chamber, an emergency vote was happening. The matter before them was simple. Humanity wanted a permanent council seat. Full membership. Full voting rights. Full recognition as a major power. Many councilors opposed it. Humanity was too young, too aggressive, too dangerous. But many also remembered the battle, remembered what happened when you underestimated humans. All in favor of granting humanity a permanent council seat? Vextheran asked. Lights appeared, green and red. For and against. The chamber held its breath, counting, calculating. The motion passes. Humanity is granted full council membership. Teeman stood, bowed. The human race thanks the council. We promise to be responsible members, to work for peace, to support cooperation, and to defend the principles of freedom and sovereignty for all species. Later, in private, Daeong asked him, Do you think they voted for us? Or did they vote because they're scared of us? Does it matter? Teeman replied, Fear, respect, they look the same from outside. What matters is we're here. We have a voice. We have power. Now we use it wisely. On Earth, celebrations filled every city. Humanity had won. Not just the battle, the war, the recognition, everything. They were not a minor species anymore. They were a power, a force. Something the galaxy had to acknowledge. Dr. Kong watched the celebrations from her laboratory. Around her, new weapons waited, unused, untested, ready for the next threat. Do you think there will be another war? Her assistant asked. Eventually, Kang said. There's always another war? Maybe not soon. Maybe not for years. But someone will test us again? Someone will think we got lucky against the Dravix. Someone will think they're smarter or stronger or better. And when they do, she patted a weapon prototype. Something terrible, something devastating, something very human. We'll be ready. In council observation posts across the galaxy, species watched humanity carefully. Some with fear, some with respect, all with new understanding. The reports went to governments, to militaries, to intelligence services. Humanity assessment, highly dangerous. Military capabilities, extensive. Tactical approach, aggressive and unpredictable. Recommendation, do not antagonize. Seek alliance if possible. Avoid conflict at all costs. Species that had ignored humans now sent ambassadors. Trade offers arrived daily. Alliance proposals filled diplomatic channels. Everyone wanted to be friends with Earth, or at least everyone wanted to not be enemies. Captain Yoon Hana stood at a ceremony in Seoul. She was receiving medals. Her squadron was being honored. Heroes of Earth, defenders of humanity. She accepted the medal, smiled for cameras, played her part, but inside she remembered the battle, remembered friends who didn't come back, remembered ships exploding, remembered the cost of victory. Glory was nice. Recognition was nice. But dead friends stayed dead. Do you think it was worth it? Nam Sora asked. She stood beside Hannah, also decorated, also honored, also remembering. Yes, Hannah said. Because we're still here. Earth is still ours. Humanity is still free. That's what matters. That's what we fought for. Not glory. Not recognition. Just the right to exist. The right to keep our home. And if they come again? If another species tries? Hannah smiled. That warrior smile. Then we fight again. And we win again. Because that's what humans do. We survive. We adapt. We overcome. And we never ever give up. 50 years later, the Dravix-Human War was taught in every military academy in the galaxy. Students studied the tactics, the strategies, the mistakes. But mostly, they studied humanity. What can we learn from this conflict? An instructor asked her class. Mixed species, young officers from across the galaxy, all wanting to understand warfare. A cadet raised a tentacle. That technology isn't everything? Good, what else? That numbers can be overcome? Better. But there's something more important? Anyone? A human cadet spoke, young, fresh from Earth. That motivation matters. The Dravix fought for conquest. We fought for survival. That makes all the difference. The instructor, a Velcaran who had studied the war for decades, nodded. Exactly. The Dravix could retreat, could surrender, could accept defeat and rebuild. But humanity? They had nowhere to go. Earth was their only home. So they fought with everything they had, with desperation, with determination, with the certain knowledge that losing meant extinction, and that made them unstoppable. She pulled up images. The battle, the pursuit, the blockade, the surrender. Remember this, all of you. When you face an enemy defending their home, think twice. Think 3 times. Think about whether conquest is worth the cost. Because species that fight for survival, they're the most dangerous enemies you'll ever face. In the council chamber, a new statue stood. Ambassador Lee Tiemann, bronze, tall, strong, a plaque beneath it read, "The ambassador who taught the galaxy to respect humanity." Clara visited it often. She was old now, ancient even for her species. But she remembered. She had been there when humans were weak, when they were ignored, when everyone thought they were nothing. You changed everything, she told the statue. You and your species. You showed us that the galaxy had grown soft, complacent. We thought civilization meant peace. But you taught us that sometimes